T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yo, welcome to the Blue Lounge and welcome to the channel. And as we go live, Kai gets disconnected. Brilliant. Big up everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys have recovered from the drama of yesterday. I was in two minds whether or not to make a video. I said I'm not going to make a stream because I was on the Footy Judge Mo's channel, but I was in two minds whether or not I should make a reaction video. And considering the situation, I thought, you know what? Bite your tongue and sleep on it. And I'm going to give you my reaction today. Before I give you my reaction, let me just welcome my panelists, still world champions for another 4 years. We'll start with Matt. Matt, welcome. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Thanks for having us on. Looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Thank you for coming on. Nizayon, Blue Clouds Media. How you doing, brother?
Doing all right. Sunday, another good day. Another week starts again. But we did not end the week well. Well, we'll move on.
Yeah, you know, we definitely did not. Kai, big up to you. You're a little bit fuzzy right now, but how you doing?
Big up, mate. Yeah, I'll reset it in a second. Yeah, pleasure as always being on, and let's have a nice therapy session and get through this.
We will
roll on the next game.
We will try to provide some therapeutical services on the stream today. Big up to everyone in the chat. Jackie, first one to comment. Big up to you. Welcome to the chat. People, smash the like button. We've only got 3 likes. We've been live for 3 minutes, which kind of makes sense. But yeah, smash the like button. Support the stream by hitting the likes early. Hit the likes early. All right, let me get on with it. So today, the main topic is Man United 2, Chelsea 1. In a storm of a game. Storm in all the meaning of the word, both on the pitch, in the heavens, and also in the stands and on social media. It has been a stormy weekend for Chelsea Football Club. Sanchez makes a really horrendous mistake within 4 minutes, which gets him sent off. Was that the reason why the game ended up the way it did? It was a contributing factor, but it wasn't the reason. Bare times, many times, you see it all the time. A goalkeeper gets sent off, a player gets sent off early doors in a game, and teams still end up winning, even though they're down to 10 men. Because there is that tactics. You know, the manager, this is his chance to show what he's all about. The manager now has the opportunity to fix things, to change things, to move things around. But Enzo Maresca took off Estevao to bring on the replacement goalkeeper. Fair play. Estevao is the least experienced player. Taking him off makes sense. That being said, we found out later on that Cole Palmer was carrying an injury into the game. And Maresca had a conversation with Palmer before the game whether or not he was ready to play in this game, and it seemed like Cole Palmer was adamant that he wants to play. Now, Cole Palmer has an injury. You know that it's raining cats and dogs. It's going to be a very, very tough game to be playing. Yet you decide to play him anyway. Okay, it's your decision. You know best. But then you have to make a change early doors. You keep a player who is injured and you take off one of the most flamboyant, one of the most extravagant players that we have in the squad. Yes, he's only 18. Yes, he lacks experience. But he's the player that could be a game changer. You take him off and you leave an injured player on the pitch. Okay. A few moments later, as the meme goes, we had to take him off. Cole Palmer is off. Pedro Neto is off. Why are you making such drastic changes? Is it because you're fearing Manchester United? Did it make sense to me? That did not make sense to me. And then when they go down to 10 men and then he comes in and makes more changes, he decides to bring on Tyreek George, a player that was this close to being offloaded to Fulham on deadline day. And yet you have £100 million worth of attacking players on the bench in Gittins and Garnacho. And Garnacho is a player that has a point to prove. Coming on the pitch in those circumstances, Garnacho would have played like a bat out of hell. He would have wanted to create something. He would have wanted to rub salt in the wounds. And he would have changed the game for us. But yet, Tyreek George is brought on. The reasoning behind it? Well, I had to replace Fofana. I had to shuffle things about in the defence. So you bring on Tyreek George, you play him up front, and then you bring on Malo Gusto, you play him as a winger. When you've got £100 million worth of wingers on your bench, you ask Malo Gusto to fill in as a left-sided winger. This whole change, this whole tactic to me is someone who is scared. Maresca was scared to lose the game. And guess what? We lost the game because he was scared to lose the game. Now, am I upset? Am I angry? Am I unhappy? Yes to all of the above. Is it a crisis? Is it a disaster? No. It's not a crisis. It's not a disaster. It's a bottle job on behalf of Maresca. But the season is long. Where we stand, where we sit in the table, we are still in a very good position. And that can be said for the 10, because everyone seems to be within a point or two from each other. And the result today, Man City Arsenal, it kind of, I'm not going to say did us a favour, but it kind of put things into perspective. So, should we be panicking? In my opinion, no. Should we be angry and upset? In my opinion, yes. This is my point of view. I'm going to hand over to my panel and ask them. I mean, if you guys haven't seen their videos and their content over the past day or so, you've missed out, because they've all posted some really, really good content in regards to their opinions on what happened at Old Trafford yesterday. But you're here, so let's hear it. Whoever wants to take it away, go ahead, lads. Yeah, I mean, he got top to bottom.
I'll start. It's
Cool,
cool.
that's fine.
Yeah,
I came in first. Let me give you that respect to go for it. Matt. So you go for it, and I'll jump in, and our brother down there will also jump in.
Yeah, no worries, man. So I think you kind of summed up most of it perfectly, Mo. Like, the issue for me with this whole game is, I said it in my video, man. If we'd have just lost this game with 11 men, I'd have been furious, because we absolutely should have gone into this game winning it. Like, there's zero other option. Going down to 10 men, a draw would have been acceptable, I think. if we went down to 10 and they stayed with 11, a draw would have been acceptable. When they went down to 10, that was our opportunity to get back in it and win the game, because they were twitchy when they went down. They looked really loose and scared and open. And do you know what really irritated me? In the Brentford game, Maresca made 3 half-time subs at half-time because he realised what he'd put out wasn't working. So he was like, right, I'll try something different. Because, do you know what I mean? So it just belies logic to me that we've literally seen him analyse a game and be like, what I'm doing isn't working. So in order to try and get something out of this game, let's make some half-time changes. He blew his load early, so to speak, with using 3 subs in the first half, all of which were absolutely mental. I 100% agree with you. What was the logic in taking... So during the game, when Cole Palmer came off, when Esteval came off as the first sub for Sanchez, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Esteval, young, inexperienced, whatever. Okay, cool. Could do kind of get that. But then watching the post-match presser with Maresca's interview, and he's like, yeah, Cole Palmer was carrying an injury going into the game. So I'm like, well, what are you doing leaving him on when you're forced to make a sub in the first 4 minutes? Do you know what I mean? And what you're doing is taking off any respite that Palmer might have had with other attacking players behind him, and you're making Cole Palmer have to work even harder. Mate, it was just bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. I'm not a Maresca out person. Do you know what I mean? Everyone deserves a bad day. Is allowed one bad day at the office. If this becomes a concurrent thing, then yeah, we'll come back to it and chat. But yes, Sanchez made a massive mistake, but Sanchez's mistake isn't what lost us the game. Enzo Maresca's tactics and decisions were, as far as I can say. There's a couple of guys in the comments have mentioned about other teams that have gone down to 10 men this season so far against hard opposition and have dug their heels in and got draws out of it or whatever. We just didn't do that yesterday at all. Maresca panicked, and that was very unbecoming of a Chelsea manager.
I'm actually putting a poll in the chat, asking the question: Maresca out, yes or no? I'm gonna keep this poll up for a good chunk tonight, and just to see what our viewers think on this. But yeah, fair points. Fair points in the chat as well. I think Maresca, what he did was a word that's been used a lot: cowardly. What he did was cowardly. Is it due to his lack of experience? Is it due to other factors? Because he didn't really say much for us to take away from the press conference that we could actually think of as being tangible. You know, there's a thought that maybe he is trying to send a message to the board, to the ownership. You know, my goalkeeper isn't good enough. My centre backs are not good enough. You guys haven't been doing what needs to be done properly. Maybe he's doing that. I don't know. Let's bring in Nizayon. Your thoughts, brother?
What a Saturday night of football. Been up very early in the morning to watch the Merseyside derby. After that, I was waiting for my team to kick off. Here we go. Whistles was being blown for Enzo Maresca and his boys to get all 3 points. Everyone was thinking a curse or time for Chelsea to break that curse. This is the right time to hit Ubin Amorim and his boys and destroy that curse, so we don't have to have any burden on us anytime we go to Old Trafford. One, I would say, psychologically, the boys were not psyched up very well. Whoever is psyching up the players did not do a good job. If you're the guy, you did not do a good job to get these guys ready for that kind of a game. Enzo Maresca, if you're the psychology guy behind the team, you did not do a good job. You did a very poor job. I'm telling you, right. I support you. I love you. But I'm telling you this. Thirdly, I want to say Chelsea against all the odds. Chelsea against the Premier League referee. Chelsea were being robbed yesterday on so many infringement decisions that did not go their way. Should Sanchez have done anything better? Maybe decision making was a bit poor. So Sanchez seeing the red card, should have given a red card. I think that was very, very harsh on him.
Really, you don't think that was a red card challenge, Lee?
It wasn't a red card challenge. based on
Really?
other infringement that was being a decision.
Lost man. Didn't
I'll,
go for
I'll,
the ball.
yeah, it last man. But what was the challenge? Did he get on the ball? Yeah, there was a video. I had
No,
a video of it.
he kicked him in the midsection, man.
We had the
Literally.
penalty. We had the penalty, and the amount of contact for that player to
Pen-
get on the
penalty-
ball.
Penalty we can discuss separately, but that challenge.
That's what I'm
was
saying.
Yeah.
Sanchez came in for a challenge, and there was also a challenge in the 18. Sanchez had the contact on the ball. The ball hit his leg. Sanchez had the contact on the ball. It's a contact sport, so definitely somebody's going to touch someone. So he touched the ball and he touched the player. In the penalty box, he touched the ball a little bit. It wasn't enough, so it's supposed to be a penalty. The amount of effort bringing the player down was more than what the effort for him to touch the ball. So I'll say 90% bringing the player down, 10% a little touch on the ball. So it should be a penalty if that is how they were ruling it. Sanchez came out for a challenge outside the box, and he had a little touch on the ball also, and brought the man down at the same time. You saw you gave him red, but you didn't give Chelsea a penalty. So that's if you look at the law, it tells you that everything went against Chelsea. Also, Bruno Fernandes decision over there. Two guys in that position. One of them was offside because he was, affecting play. But the camera did not show him.
The offside one we can discuss. I think
Okay.
that one, there is a case to be made. But
So-
the sending off, I don't think I've heard anyone say that was not a sending off. I mean that, as soon as I saw it, I knew we're down to 10 men. Literally, it was. I didn't even need to see the replay. It was as clear as day. But yeah, a lot of things went against us, but there are things that we can control and things we can't control. The things that we can control is who do we bring on and who do we take off. We didn't control that well.
What I was trying to say is it's arguable. The VAR did not review that contact from Sanchez. So there was no one saying it until you went back, watch a replay again many times to realize that he had a contact on the ball. But VAR will not waste their time on that because last man, we all know, last man, and that's it. So yeah, three things that I nailed this thing on. Psychologically, we're not ready for the game. Going to United always will stand up against Chelsea coming to Old Trafford. They will. And I always said in every 15-minute game or first half, Enzo Maresca team doesn't start very well. So still it went against him. Who wanted this game more? It was like United won the game more than Chelsea. Because just like you guys said from the beginning, there have been teams that have played a man down in the whole 90 minutes, went on to win the game. So psychologically, they did not psych their players very well. That's where I'm going to start with before we come in again with other aspects of it.
Okay. All right. Before I go to Kai, I just want to say big up to everyone in the chat. The chat is being on fire today, man.
Big up to you, DJ Sav.
Yeah. We got DJ Sav, we got Bobby Fairview, we got RC, Courtney, Gabrielle, Daniel Knight, Cascade, Frank wants to see Xavi come in instead of Maresca. I hope I haven't missed anyone. But yeah, big up to all of you. Great comments. Love the feedback. It is fantastic. And guys, we are lacking in likes. And like I said, every time Chelsea lose a game, you guys take it out on me. I'm one of you. I'm one of you. So please smash the like button. There's 21 of you in the stream right now. We've got 30 likes. So for those of you watching who haven't hit the like button, please smash the like button. As it stands, before I go to Kai, I wanna just look at the poll. So we've got 12 votes on the poll. 33% want to sack Maresca. 67% don't want to sack Maresca. Which is what I kind of expected. But yeah, if you're watching, please partake in the poll. I'd love to know what your thoughts are in regards to the Maresca situation. My opinion is no, but
my excuse no.
Yeah, my opinion is no at this point in time. But that could change quite quickly. But yeah, it's a no for me for now. But yeah, please let me hear it. Let me see it in the votes down below, and smash that like button to support the stream. And it looks like notifications haven't been going out. So I don't know why. So please smash the like button. It is more important for you to smash it today than any other stream, as notifications did not seem to go out for some reason. Kai, let me hear it.
I think you guys pretty much touched on most of it. The Sanchez red card, just to on these one, when players are making challenges, they've got to be in control. He wasn't in control, so immediately that becomes a foul, yellow card, whatever it is. But a denial of a goal scoring opportunity is always a red. Like that, there was no way he was getting away with that. I know they would. I think when they were trying to check it to see if there was any defenders close to it, which there weren't. So it was always going to be a red for me. That was a clear red, and we'll talk about the other situations. But I also don't want to get into this habit of we're relying on referees to help us win games now. Like what is that? It seems to be quite a common thing that's happening quite often now. It's like, oh, the referee was bad and it's caused us to do this and that. And we know the refereeing's bad. But in terms of player performance, and in this particular game, the manager's performance was diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. We talk about the Esteval. Yes, it was, was the right decision. We had to bring a goalkeeper on. Knowing the facts now that Cole Palmer was not fit, he should have been the first player off the pitch, not Esteval, because at least Esteval is fit to continue. And what you need when you're going down to 10 men is willing runners that are fit enough to give you an out, to give you a counter-attacking option. So we're relying on João Pedro and an unfit Cole Palmer for us to break away. Makes absolutely no sense. To then drag off Pedro Neto, immediately I saw the white flags going up. He's just trying to do damage limitation here, which at that point it was 0-0. So there wasn't even nothing to limitate. It was still an opportunity. We've been down to 10 men before in bigger games. And obviously you can say the squad was a bit different back then, but we know after seeing United for season after season, especially in this beginning of the season and last season under Amarin, they've been poor. There was no reason to fear them that much that you basically have just thrown in the towel, whacked on a bunch of defenders, taken off our whole attacking outlet in the first half, and then when you get a ray of light in the end of the first half with the red card, to not do anything at half-time makes absolutely no sense. To continue with 5 at the back, I don't. It was an absolute diabolical performance from the manager, and what frustrates me the most, and I like to look at the game afterwards and maybe try and find reasons as to why he's maybe gone down this route or picked these players, made these substitutions. But for him to come in the press conference after the game and give absolutely no reasoning and no sort of justification why he's gone down this route, I find that it's just blatantly disrespectful to the fans in the end, because there had to be a reasoning behind it.
Kai, you're talking about reasoning. Can you explain to me? Because I'm struggling to understand this. Can you explain to me, if you have £100 million worth of attackers on your bench, and you decide to go with the player that you were this close to selling?
It's not even that, Mo. He's taken that player.
Kai, you need to look at the options you have, right? You need to look at the players that you have. So you got Garnacho, who is a player that has a problem with Manchester United, that has some history, some bad blood, and he would do whatever it takes to try to get his own back. And we are in a position where we do need someone with that kind of motivation to be on that pitch. And yet you keep him sitting down and you bring on a youngster who doesn't have as much Premier League experience as Garnacho, doesn't have the motivation that Garnacho has. What is the reasoning? I mean, I'm trying to figure out in my head, why would you be on Tyreek George and not Garnacho?
That's what I mean, mate. Like, I try to think about the reasons, and we talk about like he doesn't trust the players. That's a load of bollocks, if I'm going to be honest. And if another reason, oh, well, he's trying to send a message. The transfer window's closed, mate. What message are you trying to send now? Like, the time to send your message should have been before the transfer window closes, not now. Makes no point. You know, you've got these players. Use what you've got. But
Why
then you
and,
take a
and,
player
and
like,
why send subliminal messages when you can literally just get on the phone and be like, listen, this is what I need, get it done.
yeah.
The
And if he's
board,
gonna,
the
if he's gonna
board,
go
the
down, if
board.
he's gonna go
Listen,
and yeah,
sorry, Kai. What I mean, this is something that really, really rattles me. The board has been doing a shitty job from day one. They have done a few things where we as a fan base, and again, when I say we, I'm not including myself in this. I have been trying to acknowledge it, but everything they have done is being financially based. What they are doing when they are buying and they are selling players, they're doing it for the dollar, for the money. Okay, we don't buy players over the age of 25 because we are looking at them as a depreciating asset, and therefore we are not going to sell them for a profit. Therefore, we are not buying them, even though that is exactly what our team needs right now to be able to win anything. We need to buy some experience. We need to buy some top players.
yeah,
But yet we are buying players who seem to be, on the verge of being, world stars and superstars. We're buying players for 15, 20 million pounds, and we're selling them in a couple of seasons for 30, 40 million pounds. We're making some money. Okay,
yeah,
we're making some profit. But at the end of the day, this is not a club being won to win trophies. We've won the Conference League. We've won the Club World Cup. But they are not the same level of trophy as the Premier League or the Champions League. And are we able to do that? Right now, looking at this team can't do it. Are we going to build a team that can do it? I don't think we're in that. We're not doing that right now. We're not building for that. And I think Maresca having to send messages subliminally. Look, I don't have good defenders. I don't look. This is the defenders that you've got right now. Work with them. Maybe play a back three. Maybe that's going to help you. Maybe, I don't know. You are the manager. You are the one who is getting paid to make these decisions. Figure something out, because right now what you're doing isn't working.
no,
And again, I don't want to be negative here. I don't want to be looking like, it's the first fee in what 12, 13 fixtures. We haven't lost a game in a while, so we shouldn't be this upset, this annoyed. Like Matt was saying, we would not be annoyed. We would not be upset if we made right decisions, if we did give it a go, and it just wasn't our day. That would be acceptable. I would live with that. I'd be like, you know what, we lost. We'll move on. But we lost because we made bad decisions. And when I say we, Maresca made bad decisions. Sanchez, he's a player. He's going to make a mistake. He's going to, he's going to make a stupid decision like that. But then the manager needs to support the team and not take that one error and build on it. And he made this error, therefore the game is done. If the game is lost, let's just park the bus and see out the next 86 minutes.
yeah.
That wasn't right. That wasn't right.
No. Yeah, I mean, to answer or to give you some sort of reasoning behind the whole player flipping kind of thing, and we're not going to like it, and I don't like it, but this is the reasoning behind it, especially with all the financial rules and the PSR and crap that's coming through the door now, and I guarantee in a couple more years there'll be something else that will come through. It's about making the club sustainable, and when they took over, I don't think the club was sustainable at the time. Hearing what has come out and what's been made public, hence the breaching charges, whatever, but that side is to
We were
create
debt free,
another.
Kai. We were debt free. He
Yeah.
Abramovic and his team made some dodgy decisions, made some dodgy transfers. It's
But
coming out now.
we're talking about future now, right? So
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's
if we
right,
want to
100%.
if we want to continue to, and yes, we can talk about how we've spent the money because it's been poor in some areas and we've got some good gems out of it, but on the whole, it's been pretty poor. But if we want to continue spending the money and competing in this financial side, we need to have avenues to make money. ticket sales and things like that is not going to be enough, and hence why they're trying to up ticket prices. We're not happy about it. We don't want it, because at the end of the day it's for the fans, so they can't be doing that. So they need to find other avenues to generate money, and the easiest and the best way to do it is on player sales. And again, like I said, people aren't going to like it. I don't like it, but they have to do it from a business sense, because we don't care about the business. We care about the football. And I get it. So just to give you reasoning behind why it's like that and why they buy these youngsters, like you said, when you're buying a 29, 30-year-old, you ain't going to be flipping that in a few years' time to make any profit. It's not going you're going to sell him at a depreciated value. You're going to get nothing out of it. But when you're buying these youngsters, if they work out, great, they come into the squad. If they don't work out, they're being flipped, and we're making a profit pretty much on every youngster. And the only players that we lose money on are the older players, like the Raheem Sterlings, the what's his faces, and Kunkus and things like that. And that is the reason behind it. And I'll say it again, we don't like it, but that is just business side of things. I know Matt's going to jump in a second. Just before you get there, mate.
He's itching. He's itching.
Yeah, because I know he's got a lot more in depth onto this topic. But just for reason size on that one, in terms of like going the Maresca out thing, I'm not for Maresca out. He's from what he did last season, he's earned a little. He's earned the trust to see what he can do this season. So we'll see how he gets on, but there is lots of things that he needs to change. And if he's going to throw his toys out the cot, which I don't think it's the case, I think yesterday what he showed me yesterday, which was quite. I've never seen a manager in a top flight football, at least for a Chelsea perspective, do what he did yesterday, to completely capitulate and panic yesterday. And I don't expect that to happen when you've got a young team like we do. When a situation like this happens in the match, and we get a red card, we're down to 10 men. We look to the players look to our manager for leadership. He bottled it yesterday, completely bottled it. He had many occasions to rectify the wrongs that he did in that match, and he didn't do it. And I don't know if he was hoping for a miracle, but if you want miracles to happen, you need to at least aid it in some sense. And he didn't do that in any shape or form. So for me, yes, Sanchez caused the problems to unfold, but there was enough occasions in there for Maresca to make the right decisions, regardless of we talk about Tyreek George, and yes, he was almost out the door to Fulham. He's gone and put a left winger up front, which we've tried and tested, and it doesn't work when you've got a striker sat on the bench. He's brought Gusto on, which my idea of that is because he wants to get loads of crosses in the box. Well, for God's sakes, put the two strikers in the box, because at least with you're going to get a runner that's not going to stop, that could potentially cause a nuisance for the defenders, to allow João Pedro just to drop in and stop running around like a headless chicken, because I felt sorry for the bloke yesterday. I really did. Especially with the weather conditions, I'm surprised he didn't pick up an injury from how much he was running and just the conditions he was playing in. But those little, tactical situations that Maresca had an opportunity to correct, he didn't. And that, for me, where it falls on, he cost us that game more so than Sanchez completely.
Let me bring in Matt, but before I do, I want to just say this. You touched on a point, Kai, which we all know. They are trying to bring in players that they can flip and they can, get some money for. But if we look back at the last 5 years, the most impactful player that we have brought into our squad, the player that has had the biggest, when I say impacted up, I just mean in regards to his performances, but in regards to on the team as a whole, those around him, was Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva, we got him in on a free transfer. Okay, what was he when he came in? I think he was 30, 31 when he came in.
Thiago Silva.
I
was older than that. He must have been like 36. Yeah.
36.
When he left, when he came in. When he came in, how old was he?
He was 36.
36.
Yeah, because he left
there you
at
go.
40, didn't he?
There you go. So he came in at 30, at the grand old age of 36.
Was,
you know what? He actually looked like he was playing in his prime, in his mid-20s. Right? And even a player like that, had a massive impact. The defenders, they learned a ton from him. The whole team learned a ton from him. His performances, his leadership. The man couldn't even speak English, yet he came in and he led. He led the team. We were all disappointed when he didn't get the captain's armband, and the reason was given because of his language. Even though his performances on that pitch were outstanding, and that's what you get when you buy experience. When you get experience, when you get a player top caliber who has the experience, and he didn't cost a penny, free transfer, and he had a massive impact. We are neglecting players of that caliber because we can't flip them for profit, and that is a mistake. That is a mistake. I'll hand over to Matt. Matt, take it away, brother.
So yeah, just to kind of go back to what Kai was saying about like the flipping players and this and that and the other, like anyone who's watching the stream might remember just before the season started, we all did like we did a stream with you, Mo, and we did our Premier League predictions where everyone thinks we're going to finish and stuff. And I've been saying for the whole time, I don't think we're going to do better than getting in the challenge. I think there's a potential to challenge there if we have an unbelievable season and overachieve, but I don't think that is the aim of Blueco this season. And if I wasn't already sure, that was 100% cemented when we didn't go in for Mike Maignan and a proper dominant centre back and stuff. They are taking it year by year, building in stages, and I guarantee Blueco are not targeting a title win this year. Absolutely not, because if they were, they'd have reacted to things like Liam Delap getting injured. They'd have reacted to things like Levi Colwill getting injured. Do you know what I mean? And because if you think about it, like over the last few years, we keep bringing in one or two players every single season that are becoming part of the spine of the team. We brought in Cucurella, and obviously he started badly, but now he's like irreplaceable. We brought in Caicedo. He started badly, and now he's irreplaceable. We brought in Cole Palmer. He basically just became irreplaceable pretty quickly. We've just brought in João Pedro. Reece James is already there. I think the mentality behind is you buy all of these players, and eventually some of them stick. Do you know what I mean? And if you look at it, we are building slowly. But if we would go into challenge, we'd have gone in and we'd have taken the hit on the financial, get a transfer ban or whatever. If they thought we could actually win a Premier League title, they'd have gone in regardless of the financial comeuppance that we'd be looking at. Do you know what I mean?
But Matt, the thing is this: we are spending money. Caicedo, north of £100 million. We are. I mean, Enzo Fernandez. We are spending money, but we are spending. Go on.
It
Go on.
comes back to what I was saying.
Yeah,
about sustainability, man. Sustainability is the huge thing. You can't spend 100 million on players every year, because the thing is, look at the two times we spent 100 million, right? Caicedo's turned out really well. Enzo Fernandez, literally still a question mark as far as I'm concerned. We see spits and spats out of Enzo Fernandez and stuff, but he is just a passenger for so much of it, and that was probably a bit of a lesson learned for him. Do you know what I mean? You can't just go out and spend 100 mil on a player and it definitely works. We've seen, not always 100 mil, but remember like Arsenal buying Pepe for like 70 mil, which at the time was a horrendous amount of money, and United spending 89 mil.
Mudryk for 60.
Yeah, exactly, and that could have risen to more. So making the club sustainable is 100% the first priority before winning league titles, before anything. Because look, I mean, obviously they've just beat us. Don't get me wrong, but isolated, without that in isolation, look at what has happened to Man United over the last couple of years, man. Every single season, they throw money at players and they change their manager and they try and bring loads of people in and hope that they can get that injection, and it's absolutely not working and it's not sustainable. When Jim Ratcliffe come in, yes, they've spent a lot of money, but his first thing is like, we can't carry on doing this. We have to build something. Do you know what I mean? And even they know that now. So I think that because as well, like the other thing is Blueco are American owners, and Todd Boehly in particular has got experience with an American team in the Dodgers. You can see it by like the managers and stuff they've hired. They gave Graham Potter a 7-year contract when they hired him. They never wanted to sack Graham Potter. They were willing to, as long as he didn't have the horrendous season that he did, they were willing to back him through things going badly. So I even think if we don't make Champions League this year, I don't think we'll sack Maresca. Honestly, like I genuinely don't, because I think that you look at Todd Boehly, when he took over the Dodgers, the guy that he hired as the Dodgers manager is still the Dodgers manager now, and that was over 10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? They are looking, and look at all of the young players and stuff that they're bringing in. Like, obviously, as football fans, we're all very like, the here and now, this season, this game, this moment, this, it's all really, really in the moment for us. But they are not looking at it like that. They are looking at it as business people, and they're looking at that decade, man. And I'm sure that they are looking at it like, as long as we are challenging on a regular basis and winning stuff, by the time that decade's out, I'm pretty, well, maybe not a decade, like maybe another 3 or 4 years or something. But I just don't think that Blueco are thinking about winning titles at the moment. I think they are completely focused on making the club sustainable. Because we can't just throw 100 million at a player every single season, and if it doesn't work out, then you know, like I say, look at the Mykhailo Mudryk situation. That's a really good example. That could have gone so badly if we'd have ended up paying the full amount of money for him, because of all the add-ons and stuff. And that is just not sustainable. And like I say, there's examples there with people like Man United. Everton are coming back out of it now, but Everton went through the same period. They, for like 5 years running, just kept lashing money on players and finding themselves further and further down the pecking order. So yeah, man, it's a difficult pill to swallow, and obviously it gets hyper-focused on in moments like this. But at the end of the day, for me, this is just par for the course, man. When we didn't buy a proper goalkeeper, and when we didn't look at replacing Levi Colwill or Liam Delap when they got injured, and they were like, look at what you've got in the team, that was the signal there and then that Blueco have got not no interest, but the goal this season isn't to win the title, 100%. It is to stay above water and keep building the sustainable model. And then when that sustainable model's there, I think in a year or two, we'll start seeing these big expenditures again, when all we've got to do is get a centre-back or another winger or a striker or something. And that, like Arsenal buying Gyökeres and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? These kind of final pushes to try and get over the line. I don't think we're there yet, if I'm completely honest.
All right. Nee?
Look, I've heard a lot. You guys have touched on lots of different topics. But I'll start with this in the comment where I think DJ said that Alejandro Garnacho is not being trusted and Gettins is not being trusted. I'll say, just like Carl said, it's a lot of BS. You know what? If Enzo Maresca doesn't trust those players, then he has to be on the guy to be playing that position for them, because you have these players on your side. Window is closed, as like Kaya said, and you have to use those players. So the better you trust them, the better they do the job for you. It's up to you, the manager. If you don't trust them, I don't think it's true, though. Anyway, I don't think it's true. My opinion of what I think that it did not play Alejandro Garnacho is, we saw the hostile environment over there and the kind of songs and everything they're singing against this guy. I know he can come on and do something, but then I feel like it can also, either he can be good or it can affect his game. And Enzo Maresca have already done some stupid changes already in the first 20 minutes. And he's already feeling the pain, because I saw him warming up. Warming up means that he was going to put him in, by the nature of the red card and all that kind of stuff, did not give him the chance. Also, I'm going to go back to these Chelsea spending so much money on players. The team is not done yet. As Toboli said in his conference, in the conference that he had in Dubai, he said they are building the team, and when the time comes, they will stop buying players. It means that they've hit the place where they have to be. And it's not guaranteed in the Premier League. It's not ever guaranteed that even if you spend 600 million on the player, it means that he comes to the Premier League or Premier League team and that he can hit the ground running. No, it's not guaranteed. Chelsea will keep building this team until how many years is Arteta into his building Arsenal team? About 6 years now, and they haven't even win the Premier League. They keep building each and every year. I had Thierry Henry said, well, what kind of building are you putting up? That building has to be very, very tall. Well, yeah, these are young players. And the way and manner the Premier League has shaped itself with financial fair play and PSR and all that kind of stuff, you have to be able to sell players to be able to buy more. And we've seen it, how it's an advantage towards Chelsea's side. Teams that can sell, but it means you can't buy.
So are we going to be having transfer windows where we sell 20 odd players every window and buy 6-7 players every window? Is that the way forward? Is that the right model for us to follow?
No, absolutely no. We're not going to be selling that many, but we still, just like Matt said, we still have players on the book that have to go make away because they don't suit the style Some that came in before Enzo Maresca, they are still there. We have to make way for them, get them out before we can start bringing in others. You get what I'm saying? We brought in Gittins. We think it was good. He still need time. He need at least 2 seasons to prove himself. When we brought in who else? Let's start with Williams. He's doing well. He's hit the ground running. We can tell there's got a lot of potential in him. He can things can work on for him. We don't know others. Sanchez in the goalkeeping department. We haven't bring in any better goalkeeper for a long time.
Do you know what? 2 of the standout players so far this season for me.
Yeah.
And again, no one's perfect. You can say that Reece James was at fault for one of the goals. You can say that
it's not a stupid thing.
Chalobah, the own goal against Bayern Munich. But for me, Reece James and Chalobah have been 2 of the best performing players in our squad for a very, very long time. And those guys, we didn't spend a penny. We spent a lot of money developing them. But, and again, it's the comparison. And people are going to say to me, we're past this. It's done. It's over. Roman Abramovich, towards the latter part of his tenure at Chelsea, focused on the academy. He focused a hell of a lot on the academy and developing our youth system, because he knew this would be generating money in the future, but at the same time, it would also be a way to support the squad. And he did that well. These guys are not learning from that. They are neglecting that, we have got an academy that has brought out some fantastic players over the past few years. You don't need to be buying youngsters for peanuts. And again, I said peanuts is a loose term, because spending 15, 20 million is peanuts for us, maybe, but for other clubs, that's a record transfer fee. They're buying the likes of Renato Vega, selling him and thinking, okay, we've made a chunk of money on him. That's good for the books. But where is that in regards to the team? Because for me, and just one thing, for me as a Chelsea fan, I don't care about the finances. The finances, that's for the club to decide and for the club to work on. For me as a Chelsea fan, I want to see my team win. I support the football team. Okay? I don't care who's the director of the board and who's directing this and directing that. They need to address that and fix that in a way where they are able to let us, the fans, still have the joy of watching our team on the pitch, winning things. Supporting the team, supporting the youth players coming through the ranks. Having that one big marquee signing every couple of transfer windows, I'd be happy with that. We don't need to be buying £100 million player every single transfer window for us to be happy. For us to be happy, we want to see our team succeed. And to see our team succeed, we need to focus on the players, on the team. Manchester United, right now, they are in the mud because of the neglect that has been shown towards the infrastructure of their club, of their team. If we are not careful, we could be heading down that route. For us to be happy and say, we bought Gittins for 50 million, we bought X, Y, and Z player for 50, 60 million. We're making videos about it, we're talking about it, breaking news and whatnot. But really, when it comes down to it, we needed to buy a goalkeeper, we needed to buy a defender. We didn't. We spent a ton of money on other places because the ownership believe that these players that we bought in today, we can sell in a couple of years and make a ton of profit on them. That, as a fan of the club, doesn't really fill me with a lot of satisfaction, personally.
Look, this is what I think. The club is not really neglecting the academy. No, not at all. Because we've seen lots of academy players being given game time last season and this season. Shimaoka from the development squad has got game time. What's his name again? Is it Richie something? And we still have we still have a Champon also in the squad, and we have Tariq George also in the squad. But what they are trying to do is, it's not just Chelsea doing it. Every club is doing it. You get what I'm saying? Chelsea brought in Marina Hutchinson from Arsenal Football Club. You definitely cannot rely on the academy alone all season. You have to bring in others from other places to beef up the young squad that you have. So Chelsea brought in Mario Hutchinson. We brought in what's his name again? Billy Gilmore, also from another club, and then he came to join the academy. Also, we saw Liverpool also taking our boy, what's his name? These young boys scoring for them. So it goes on everywhere. They have academy players, but then they go in to bring in other academy young players from other football clubs. You get what I'm saying? So in that option, they are not neglecting it, but they're beefing up. They're bringing up other young players from other places to, put some challenge on the academy thing. If you rely on academy alone, we're not going to have anything, because not every year that the graduates, players that graduate from the academy will be good enough to enter into our first 11 or even be on the bench. It's not all the time. You even said it, or we even said it here, that we have Garnacho, but we did not play Garnacho, but we took George over Garnacho. It means that George is not good enough. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but we had a transfer ban, and because of the transfer ban, we weren't able to bring in fresh players into the squad. We relied heavily on the academy in that season, and guess what? Those players that we relied on came through and became top class players, and some of them are playing all over Europe right now. Abraham, Tomori, Livramento. We had a lot of players come through. Matson, a lot of players come through. Okay, Mason Mount. I could be here for hours just listing players. The point I'm trying to make is this: if we need to do the same thing today, do we have that caliber who can come in and do what is required? I don't think we have that caliber.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every year is different. The graduates will be different.
Yeah, but it's changed a lot.
It's because because we had the likes of Georgie Morris, we had the likes of Makelele.
No, not the setup. How young players are perceived now. So back in the day, when we would go out and buy a young player, they wouldn't be coming into the first team. They'd be going into the academy. The likes of these Estevals, the Quendas, anyone like 21 and under, if they were bought, they would go into the academy, and then you might see them a few years later. Look at Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake was bought from Feyenoord. He was brought in at under 16s, come through the ranks, Chelsea, Bournemouth. Now he's at Man City. So back in the day, Roma Abramovich era, these young players were brought in to play for the academy, not the first team. Now football's completely changed, where the teams, not just Chelsea, it's starting to go across the board. They're not looking at the older, experienced players. They're looking at the young, ready-made players. And when you're going out and buying a young player, it's to try and come and compete into the first team. So I think football has started to change, where you're going to be spending this big money on the young players, but you're not going to give them the time to develop in the youth ranks first. They now need to come in and try and produce in first team football, which is where I think the change has gone. So some of those players that would have been in the academy, like if we're talking if we bought Esteval and was put into the academy, we're talking about him.
Strasbourg has become the Chelsea academy, literally.
Yeah.
The model you're talking about, I agree with. That's what's been implemented.
But those players need to go out and get first team football, not academy football, because we've said it before. Like, academy football is great to develop, but when they come and they play first team football, whether it's the French league, the Premier League, whatever, it's a massive step up for a lot of players. We had that transfer ban where we were lucky and we didn't have a choice. We had to use those young players, and they went out and they did a great job for us.
Mo, if you use the transfer ban thing, we had only one option. Our option was to use the academy. Yeah. And it came at the right time that Frank Lampard had no choice but bringing. And we've been watching the good thing about that academy is they had, I would say 80% of that academy team graduated from the 15, from the 12, 15, 19s and whatever. You get what I'm saying? You have the crop of players that were together. Tammy Abraham, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, what's his name again? Jadon Silva, Mason Mount, all these crop of players, about 7 of them were together. Reece James and all of them, they were together. So it was that easy, be easy for them to jump in and then fill in that gaps. Because they've gained a lot of experience. And they won. They were just winners. They were winning.
That crop of players.
Yeah.
The amount of players. I mean, Hudson-Odoi is another name you can add to that list.
Right.
There is so many. And that's not a fluke. If there was 1 or 2 players, and those players were being coached by the likes of Makelele, Ashley Cole also did some coaching, John Terry. They had a lot of influence from ex superstars. The players that we all talk about, as being the heritage of Chelsea Football Club. The likes of Lampard, the likes of Morris, and even some of the older lot. They were there, and they were there to support the team. Right now, we don't see that connection anymore. It's become stale. I don't know. It feels like it is so money driven. Put yourself in a player's shoe in the academy. Okay, and you're seeing Chelsea signing all these 16, 17, 18-year-old players from across the world, bringing them in, sending them to Strasbourg, a couple of seasons, coming in. You're in the academy, you're thinking to yourself, I ain't got a chance in hell to get into the first squad. While as before, looking at the progression that a whole bunch of the players have had, they're looking at I want to be the next Mason Mount. I want to be the next
under Roman Abramovich. Obviously, we had that spell with Lampard, but before that, it's not like we were having youth players come through and play. We've had more youth players play, and again, I'm not back in the ownership. We've had more youth players play in these last 3 years.
He was focusing on it. He was focusing on it for the past, I think the last 10 years of his tenure. He started focusing on the academy because
Christensen was the first.
But name
to come in since John Terry.
So
but
name
John Terry and Andreas Christensen. And then in between them and Frank Lampard, there was no one.
Yeah, because if you can, the players that you're naming all came at the same time.
Yeah,
all of those players came into the squad at the same time. But prior to that,
Kai, if you were building 10 years, okay, you focused on it for 10 years. It's going to take you 10 years to get these players through. So for us to look at it, they came through, and then it stopped. It literally stopped. I mean, we haven't seen anyone come through recently.
That's not true.
You can name 1 or 2 players. Players, but
Genesis Antwi, Reggie Walsh.
Reggie Walsh.
Where are they? I mean, Achimpong is fringe. Tyreek George,
which signed a 7-year deal, man.
Where are they in regards to the squad? Where are they in regards to the team?
But you're expecting an 18-year-old from the academy to come be a starter first team football straight out of the academy. Ain't going to happen. So he's got to start as a fringe player.
I'm not. They are a fringe player, but what I'm saying to you is, where are they going to be? Tyreek George, he has a couple of good games, and what do we decide to do? Fulham, come and take him. Any team that will pay £20 million for him to come and take him. What I'm trying to say is this: we are building. You have to have the right direction. If you are building, let me finish. If you are building for you to generate money, if you are building for you to generate players to feed into the squad, you have to have it in one direction. If you're building in this multi-club model where you are bringing players in and you're trying to offload them, 1 or 2 players coming through for 20 million, for 30 million, that's your ambition. That's your ambition. Is your ambition to play for the Chelsea Academy so that you can graduate and become part of the Chelsea squad, or is your ambition to come and then play for Sunderland or to play for Fulham or to play for?
I think you kind of hit it perfect earlier, actually, Mo. With this, it's like, look at how, like, I get it. Like, think about it as not as a Chelsea Academy player. Thinking about your career, if you're a Chelsea Academy player, you might end up at Roma, at Fiorentina, at Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily just about getting into the Chelsea team for these academy players, man. Chelsea academy players have been getting into big teams across the board
because we're given the chance. Because we're given the chance. If you give them the chance, Either they will move to bigger and better things, or they become part of the team, as Reece James has. Trevor Chalobah is a clear case of us trying to force a player out for the money. Trevor Chalobah should not be in the squad right now. Had the ownership had their way.
That's one example, though, isn't it? Like I say, I think generally the academy's there to make money, man, more so than it is to get players in the squad. 100%.
Gallagher. There's a lot of scenarios like that. What I'm saying is this: if a player is developed, is sold to generate money, I get it, I understand it. But what I'm saying to you is this: right now, the academy hasn't been given the opportunity because the academy has become a side hustle. Right now, is buy them 16, 17-year-olds, send them to Strasbourg, get minutes. If they're good enough, they'll come to the team, maybe play them for a season, and then sell them for a very big profit. If not, we'll sell them from Strasbourg. We'll make a reasonable profit. This isn't the point I'm trying to make here. Is this? This is not sustainable if you want to become title contenders, if you want to become challenging for big honors, because you need to build something sustainable. You need to build a squad. You need to build a team. For you to be playing about with these, £20 million here, £20 million there, and trying to generate a revenue stream. In the contract that they signed with Roman Abramovich, there was a clause there for them to build a stadium. There was a plan in place for us to build a stadium. There was Earls Court, there was Battersea, there was a couple of different locations that we were supposed to be moving into and building a stadium. There was plans to even expand. This has been something that has been shelved for now. Hiking up the prices so that we have to pay more to go watch our team for them to be able to sustain a revenue. Them waiting for a sponsorship deal for us to generate revenue that way, and we need to play it right because we need to wait for another season so we qualify for the Champions League, and then we're gonna get a better sponsorship deal. Well, we've just started the season. We're 5 games in. We still haven't got a sponsorship deal. Well, we're trying to figure something out. We're trying to do this. This isn't sustainable, man. This is not the way to run a proper business. This is just. I don't know. I mean, I know it's hard for us to try to criticize, but if you see something that just doesn't look right, 9 times out of 10, it's not right.
Mo, I do understand what you're saying. It's either that way or the other way. If you say sustainable, it depends on how you're looking at it. Okay. Let's if you say sustainable. Oh, this is not a way to build a squad. A lot of people are thinking, okay, go in and spend money, a lot of money, but the age has to be 28, 27, 26, 28, 20, and more experience. But how sustainable can it be in 3 years' time when it's like the performance is not there anymore? You get what I'm saying? But you have to remember also, I'm going to go back a little bit in terms of what we said with these players that came to Chelsea. The likes of Tammy Abrahams and Reece James and Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Mason Mount. Remember, they did not just jump into our squad and start playing. They all have a loan spell where it gave them that experience to be able to play in our team and be better in the Premier League. If you look at Mason Mount, went to Vitesse. All the way to Vitesse.
You're missing the point.
I'm giving you the reason why we're able to have that club of players to play for us.
What I'm trying to say to you is this: we need to build a team that can challenge.
That's what we're building.
We're not building. If we buy players 26, 27, 28. What term is used for players who are 26, 27, 28? What term is used for these kind of players?
Prime.
What you tell me?
Exactly. In their prime. In their
prime. When a player is in their prime, that is the peak of their performance. For the next 3 years, he is going to be playing at the best that he is going to be delivering the best that he can deliver. He has the skill. He has the experience. He has the knowledge. He has what it takes to win. Okay, and this is why having players of that caliber, these players are normally very expensive. They're very
years.
expensive. Knee.
Yeah, more.
26
in 3 years' time, he's gonna retire. All right, go ahead, Mo.
Knee.
Yeah.
I am not trying to have a comedy show here. When I'm saying to you 3 years, this is, when Ronaldo's peak 6 years, other players peak 2 years, other players peak 4 years. It varies. It varies. Okay. When we're talking about peak, when we're talking about players in their prime, these players, firstly, they cost more money, right, because they are able to deliver a better performance, a better outcome. And secondly, they cost more money because, yes, you're not going to be able to flip them for the same amount of money that you paid for them. However, the return on the investment isn't going to be in regards to the transfer fee that you generate for them. It's going to be in regards to the results you're going to have on that pitch. When you have players who come in, who win you Champions League, who win you Premier League, that is what me, as a fan, is looking for. We are fans, Lee. We are not accountants. We are not financial investors. We are here as football fans. Okay, what we're seeing, what we're looking at right now. I mean, Bobby Fairview put a comment just a few minutes ago. He said we are forced to become financial experts. We are forced to become accountants because that is the excuse that is being pushed to us. We're doing this because of the finances. But as a Chelsea fan, as a football fan, when I sit down and I watch the game, I want to see beautiful football. I want to see results. I want to see us smash Man United. I want to see us beat Arsenal. I want to see us pick up that trophy at the end of the season. That's what I tune in for. I don't tune in to see what is the share price for Chelsea now. What is the ticket prices for Chelsea now? Is it going to go up next season because we didn't get that sponsorship deal? We don't need to be looking at this. We shouldn't be looking at this. We shouldn't be financial experts to support Chelsea Football Club.
But someone has to.
Look at the other teams that are doing well at the
Not
moment,
us.
right?
Not us.
No, obviously not us, of course. But in like City, so Liverpool built themselves up over a long time to get to this period that they are right now. It wasn't something they didn't just come in and throw loads of money every single season and stuff. Liverpool have been really, really picky about in and when they go out and buy the players that they need to replace players or to elevate their squad. It kind of started with Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson. And then they use these guys as like linchpins in order to build their team off. City's a little bit of a different one because obviously there's all the charges and stuff. But City also, it was project based, especially they spent a few years before Guardiola came in, building up to Guardiola coming in. And Guardiola already had the majority of the team that he wanted when he got there, despite not having an amazing first season. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if we look at the successful teams over the last however many years, and it is basically, since 2017, we obviously won that league. Leicester, it was a freak, do you know what I mean? It was a freak league. But the other two teams that have consistently been doing really, really well in the league have built their projects over time. Like you just said, you don't think we're building a team that can challenge. Like I do think we're building being the operative word. I 100% believe we're building a team that can challenge. And you can already see some of the players there, man. Reece James, Cucurella, Moises Caicedo, Cole Palmer, João Pedro is looking like he could be a big part of that as well. But there's still a lot of gaps, right? And we can't fill all of these gaps all at once. Even if we went out and bought the centre-back or the winger or whatever, you can't buy all of those things we need at the teams at once. So we're buying these linchpins, in and around. And the reason it's stressful for us is because we're watching us spend all of this money. But the truth of the fact is, even if we did go out and instead of spending on all these youngsters, we completely put all of that money into the team and we went out and bought Rodrigo and Donnarumma and, I don't know, some 100 million centre-back and Victor Osimhen, and we get all of these guys in the squad right now and we pay everyone 300 grand a week and we put all of that money and expenditure and investment in to try and win the league right now. If it doesn't work, then we take 2 steps back again. Do you know what I mean? We've seen it loads of times, man. The amount of times we've had managers come in and win the league because they've injected loads of money into the squad, but then it's gone sour with Mourinho, and Antonio Conte and Tuchel, and then it's taken a couple of years after that to build back from that. Do you know what I mean? Because we had the players that were there for this manager, and it was difficult to get rid of everyone. Do you know what I mean? It's like we had to change the way that we were doing things because football's changed, man. Football's not the same game it used to be. So we're in a really difficult period right now as fans because what we used to is winning. We've been spoiled with a winning culture for the last 20 years, and Roman Abramovich was a real football guy, and he connected with us and stuff, and we absolutely loved that. What we've got now is corporate businessmen who are running the team, and they're not making decisions based on how we feel about it as fans. Like, I do think we're building that team, man. I do. I don't think it's going to happen quickly. And like I say, I think you've only got to look at how long it took Man City to build towards challenging every single season, and how long it took to get Liverpool towards challenging every single season, and even Arsenal. It took Arsenal a while to get towards challenging every single season, and look at their squad now. Do you know what I mean? Their squad looks great. They've got brilliant centre-backs, good midfielders, great attackers. It didn't all happen at once. They've been adding every single year. So I expect it to take 2, 3, 4 years, man. And I'm 100% agree with you. Like, I want to see my team win. Of course I do. As a fan, I want to see us play great football, and I want to get results. But coming from out of the Roman Abramovich era, which was inject as much money as possible and hope for the best, to try and make this massive change to this completely new culture and system about how to build the squad and stuff, it was always going to be really tough. So I empathise with how you feel, man, because we all feel that way. I think everything you've just said there, every single person watching this stream and us, it's like we all resonate and feel that annoyance. But me personally, I'm desperately trying to like stay objective and think that if we did just carry on doing the Roman Abramovich way, we'd be, like I say, for me, I feel like we'd end up in a Man United situation, and we could be even worse off than we are right now.
No, I agree with Matt on that one. I think football's changed, and we don't like it. Of course we don't. We don't want to talk about the finance stuff because it's not what we want to talk about. We want to be talking about players coming in. We want to be talking about winning trophies, challenges, titles. That's what Chelsea's been about, and that's what we have, seen over the last 20 odd years, being the most successful team in England. But you would be naive to think that football hasn't changed. It has, because it's not just us. Every team is going down. Look at the way that teams are now approaching player wages. Everybody's trying to take the same approach. It is changing, and it has changed. And time is, nobody wants to hear that things are going to take time. And especially coming after what we saw yesterday and what we have seen over the last 3 years, to go and tell anybody it's going to take time is like a recipe for getting punched in the face, because we don't want to hear it. We want to see trophies. Now, I saw a comment there about, we won the Club World Cup, and they're probably thinking that the squad's good enough because we won that to go on and win, which is not the case. Yes, we may have won that trophy. I don't even take the Conference League into account because it was a waste of time. It was sort of turn up, thanks for the trophy, see you later, never want to see you again kind of thing. But yes, we did a great showing against PSG, and we competed against the best club in Europe and beat them. But it's, again, naive for the sporting directors to think that means that this team is now good enough to go and do it in the Premier League, do it in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and do it in the Champions League because they won that trophy. They definitely fumbled a few signings in the window. I think if we had brought in Mike Maignan, I think it would have made a big difference in terms of experience and just a little bit more solid at the back. I think it may have even made our centre-backs look better than they are at the moment. But, I echo what Matt says. I get the frustration. I can hear it in your voice, mate. Like, it is frustrating because it's not what we want. We want to see. It's not what we want to talk about. But we may not be thinking about it, but somebody has to. And from the business side of things, because football is an entertainment sport, but it is also a business, and they're looking at the business side of things, and they're doing things. One of the most frustrating things is the shirt sponsorship, and I know we've had conversations about it, Matt, thinking that, maybe they'll generate more shirt sales because it hasn't got a sponsorship. But that is a lot of money that they could, £60 million 70 million. I reckon we could get even more.
100 mil,
You know, with the fact that we've got, you know, the Club World Cup thing on there, but there seems to be no urgency to do it, and that's one thing that baffles me, especially when the whole UEFA money thing come out. And I'm like, you're sitting on a shirtless shirt. Like, surely getting a shirt sponsor would aid with that. So there are definitely a few business decisions that are questionable in terms of we don't see the full picture yet, and unless somebody comes out and tells us sits us all down, tells us exactly why they haven't done it, we're never going to know. But again, somebody has to look at the business sense, because what we don't want to happen, and we've seen it in the past, teams like Derby and things like that, they go into financial struggles, almost administration, and having to have someone come in and buy them out. And because of the rule changes, which again wasn't under the Roman era, so they didn't have to worry about that, these things are very, very, it can hold clubs liable, and they have to think about it, whether we want them to or not. They have to. So yeah, it's frustrating. It sucks, but that is what football is now, and it's not going to be long. I mean, look at Newcastle, richest club in the league. You don't see them splashing loads of money because they have the money to go and rebuild their squad tenfold, but they don't do it because they can't.
All right, let me come in here. So, two things. Number one, it's naive to think that you can win the Premier League or the Champions League with kids. Okay, you do need to have experience in the squad. And it's, again, naive to think that you can build a squad or build a team when you are selling 20 odd players every transfer window and you're buying 6 or 7 players. Because if you're doing that, you are not building a team. You are not building. If you're constantly reshuffling, it's because you're either trying to flip players for money, or it's because you are making wrong decisions or buying the wrong players and they are not quite what you need and you have to sell. And this is why I believe, and again, I am one, and Lee knows this, I am one who criticized the appointment of Maresca when we bought him, when we signed him. But at the same time, right now, he's my manager. He's the manager of my club. What does he need? What does Maresca need? Maresca specifically wants a centre-back and a goalkeeper. Why on earth would we not provide that and buy players that he doesn't need? Because of the finances. Because we are trying to generate money. We are trying to generate profit. If we are trying to build a squad, we are trying to build a team to win, to challenge, well, this is our manager. This is what he needs. This is the tools that he's asking for. Provide it to him. If he was to ask for X centre-back or Y centre-back and you're like, listen, Maresca, X and Y centre-backs cost too much, we can't afford them, but we'll get you someone who's a little bit cheaper, I can live with that. But for him to say, I need a centre-back, and he said to him, no, go jump off a cliff, we can't give you a centre-back. I need a goalkeeper, no, go jump off a cliff, you got Sanchez, he did all right in that one game against PSG, he'll be good enough for the Premier League. That is not building. That is not building. So we need to address our transfer strategy, because if we are selling 20 players to generate profit, so we can buy 6 or 7 players, I'm sorry, that's just not sustainable. I don't see that as being a way to build a team. I mean, if you think differently, fine, but it just doesn't add up. And we've had these. Clear outs a couple of times now. Yes, the first time we had to do it was because of players that were in the squad, in the team, that were pre the Blue Lake. There was a lot of them that were bought from Marina Granovkaia, and they weren't players that Blue Lake wanted to. Blue Co wanted to keep. I get that, but we're doing this constantly to generate money. And I don't think it is the way to build a squad. Fantastic comments in the chat. The chat has been, fire today. Big up to DJ, big up to Bobby, big up to Rich Moneymaker, Chelsea boy. Chelsea boy, by the way, I saw you yesterday. I saw you on the Footy Judge Mo. You were in the comments in the chat. So big up to you, Chelsea boy, and thanks for your support. It's been a really really good stream. Jackie, I'm not sure if I gave you a shout out. Big up to you, Jackie. Big up to everyone in the chat. Fantastic, fantastic. Lads, today's stream was supposed to be an hour because I wanted to post it on TikTok. That's not going to happen again. Second stream in a row. I can't put on TikTok. My TikTok followers are going to be mad. But yeah, if they want to get this content, they should be watching on YouTube. It is as it is what it is. But listen, guys, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, and we can point fingers, we can blame this, we can blame that. A lot of these issues are somewhat subjective. If I believe in something and Kai believes in something, or Nee or Matt believes in something different, it doesn't mean I'm right and they're wrong, or they're right and I'm wrong. It means we look at things from a different angle. We see things from a different lens. I may have focus on one aspect, Kai may have focus on a different aspect. You guys in the chat, I know you guys have been having a mad argument in the chat, but again, it's everyone has an opinion, and everyone bases their opinion on what they've seen, what they've heard, what they've experienced, and it's beautiful. We're here to discuss. We're here to. Oh shoot! I totally forgot about this. Oh shoot! Wait, I don't know if I can do it.
Oh, yeah.
How do I do it?
Yeah, because Nee was right, wasn't he? Nee was right.
Yeah, God forbid him being right in the Oh, shit. Hold on. Give me a second. I need to set up my my thing. Yeah, no, Courtney, I'm gonna be giving them out. Just give me a second. So if I click on this.
I'll just take this quick moment to say I've seen a couple of you tonight that were in my live stream, the watch along. Big up everyone. Thanks for coming on and supporting and getting me the likes and stuff. It was a good time, man. Really enjoyed it. So if you're in the stream now and you watched mine yesterday, nice one. Legends. Thank you very much.
Okay.
What a mess, eh? What a mess.
While Mo's doing that, what we thinking about Lincoln? Do you think it's going to be a complete overhaul, and it's going to be probably even some players from the academy, or do you think it's just going to be the fringe ones?
I think it will be like Conference League, like how we treated that last year. I think it will be like Yoro Hato will start, Ash Yampong will start, Mark Yu will start. Maybe Reggie Walsh, Genesis Antwi, I think might get a game time just because he got a new contract recently. So there's obviously a lot of.
So I thought like it'd be a good game for Garnacho and Gittins to just play the full 90, but the fact that Esteval came off and played nothing, I think. I mean, you could do Garnacho, Gittins, and Esteval in the 10, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they're all going to need minutes.
I think it will be Buonanotte.
You reckon?
Esteval
yes, but he didn't even get on the bench, did he?
No, in for me, it's Buonanotte, Esteval. And if Esteval had played the Man United game, I'd have said Gittins. But I think it's more important. It's like we've got to start giving Garnacho game time, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like we went to all of that effort to sign him, and we stayed in contact for that long, and he's now all of a sudden just not getting any minutes. Like, I think he needs a full 90 minutes to just get an idea of the manager's instruction, and not just to come on and be like, you need to do this because the game's going this way. I think he needs to be able to be on the pitch from the start. And, it still blows my mind. To be fair, it blew my mind that Neto started the Man United game because he's just looking knackered, man. He's looking so tired recently. It just seemed like a great, but I think
there you go. 5 memberships for you guys to take. Take him. First come, first serve. Let's see who takes him.
That went quick.
That went quick. Luke Mudway got one. Cascade got one. Rich Moneymaker got one. Master Michael got one. Ice Cold Beverage got one.
They were waiting.
They were just sitting there waiting for that. Oh, yeah, I wanted Corner to get one, but he didn't get one. Do you know what? I'm going to put another 5. We'll do 10.
Ooh, mate.
10.
Yes, Mo.
Got to do a countdown just before you put it in. 3, 2, 1, bam.
All right, guys, get ready. Get ready. They're coming. 5 more. 5 more memberships. 3, 2, 1, boom. There you go. Who's getting them? Who's getting them? Who's getting them? Who's getting them?
Bobby got one.
Bobby got one. Bobby got one. Who else? Who else is getting them? Blue Clouds Media. Gabriel got one. Good old folks got one as well. Chelsea boy. Yay, big up. All right, that's 10 memberships. Then I go put my card back away. All right. Man of my word. Man of my word. I said I'll give out 2. I gave out 10. Financially, that's not sustainable, lads. Yeah, don't be doing that because that's not the way to move forward. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, it's Corey. Thank you for reminding me, Baba. Thank you for reminding me. I totally forgot about that. It's been one of those emotionally draining streams. Oh, look at them, Cole Palmer. Yeah, guys, use the emojis. Use the emojis. There's Fabrizio, Reece James. Yeah, use the emojis that you guys have access to now. Cole Palmer, big up. Yeah, so make sure you guys are following the content creators. Links are all in the description. Blue Clouds Media, Behind the Dugouts, and Sanford Sink, and also Sadiq from Worldwide Chelsea. He's currently doing a world tour madness. He's doing a whole thing with his Formula One shows and whatnot. So I think he's in Azerbaijan right now. I think he got there today.
wow.
So Sadiq, if you're watching, big up to you, my brother, and enjoy. Looking forward to having you back when you're back. How long do I think Palmer will be out for? Not long. I'm hoping it's not.
He'll be back for the Brighton game, I reckon.
Yeah, I think it's just a precautionary thing. And again, groin injury. He's been complaining about it for quite some time. It's pissing down with rain, sliding tackles everywhere. Why you starting him? I mean, I don't know. As a player, he's gonna say I want to play, but as a manager, you gotta use your common sense. But listen, we started talking about Sanchez. Then we went to Maresca, and I don't know how we ended up talking about Blue Lake. But yeah, listen, fantastic stream. Thank you all for watching. We're a little bit shy with the likes. I mean, I've given out more memberships nearly than the amount of likes I've got on the stream. So it is what it is. If you've got a membership and you haven't hit the like button, I don't know what to say to you, mate. I don't know what to say to you. No, but listen, thank you all for being here. We will be back next Sunday for a Sunday night stream. Depending on what's happening in the week, FFP finally turns up in the chat. FFP, where you been, man? Where you been? We're sending you WhatsApp messages. We're sending you the link. But no, it's all good, Baba. It's all good. We will see you on future streams, Lewis. And guys, FFP, another Chelsea content creator from the United States of America. Good content, good perspective, rational thoughts. So if you wanna go check it out, show him some love as well. Subscribe to his channel, much appreciated. But yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure. We will catch you in the next upload or stream, whichever one happens first. Take care, stay safe, and get a financial degree, accounting degree. If you're still at university, go get a financial degree. It might come in handy as a Chelsea fan. Take care, people. Have a good one. Stay safe and peace. Bye bye.